What is the best strategy today to rank on Amazon fast when you're launching a new product?
The fastest way to rank is back in 2016 when I started. My first product was a failure, complete failure, but I learned a lot from it. First of all, focus on selling. Start PPC, and PPC is, will take you to the moon and back if you work on the PPC funnel. The PPC advertising funnel is all about 4 very important steps. Step 1 is about I encourage everyone to work in favor of building a brand, building, let's say, a legacy. Because at the end of the day, you want to get as many sales and as profitable as possible from just one click, just one PPC ad, just one sale. So in order to do that, you have to work on the lifetime value. Try to position the listing and the images to give the value to the actual customer. And always remember this. Whenever you're looking at your listing, try to look from the customer's eyes and think, what's in it for me?
Hi everyone, welcome on Amazon Expert Monday. Every Monday we interview Amazon experts who share some tips, some nuggets. And today we are with Marcel from Intellirank. We'll be talking about product launching, ranking. But first of all, Marcel, how are you?
Hey, I'm very good. And thank you for having me today. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here and share the knowledge and the experience I have gathered over the years in the Amazon space.
Yeah, you've been working on Intellirank since 6 years, right?
Yes, we started Intellirank in 2019, but before that, I started as an Amazon seller back in end of 2016, beginning of 2017. So yeah, it's been a journey, that's for sure.
A long journey. You've seen a lot of evolution on Amazon. How did you start it with Intellirank?
Well, first of all, we worked on our own businesses and we started developing strategies. And then we had a really big community in Romania of Amazon sellers, which now it kind of dissolved, because there's no more people to handle it in terms of having course around it and everything to get people started on Amazon. And what we discovered, myself and Larissa, my business partner, we discovered strategies that would help us in the business. We come with an engineer background, so I was back then a backup solution architect. So I tend to look at things and try to understand them and then try to get into details. And we started helping our friends in the community with services. Back then, we were helping them with Instagram, Facebook, micro-influencers, and that was a very good strategy at that time. It's still working, but the core objective there is to get visibility, branding, and user-generated content. And slowly we developed into an agency. I was with Larissa one day and saying, hey, why not transform this into a business? We seem to be very good at what we do, and why not help even more people and make some fun out of it? Why not? Yeah.
And now how many are you in the agency?
Right now we are 17 in the agency. So it started in 2019. It was myself and Larissa at first. So we were doing pretty much everything, slowly building and the foundation and everything of the agency. And today we are happily growing slowly and surely. We are putting in place a lot of processes, a lot of SOPs, everything, operational stuff. So it's taking us to a whole new level. Luckily, we come with a corporate background, so it's helping us a lot to know what to and how to drive the business.
But, you use your knowledge to implement that in your company now.
Absolutely.
How was PPC at the beginning on Amazon in 2019? How was the PPC?
I can say it was different. So
yeah, sure.
It was cheaper back then, but it was entirely different scenario. I remember back then that we started and Many Codes was developing Helium 10, and then Cerebro came into play, and there was a lot of things. And right now Cerebro is like the best tool out there to do the reverse ASIN. So we're really kicking it. So back then we didn't have so many tools and so much information. Yeah, PPC was cheaper, like I said, to run. So yeah, it was a different kind of animal at the entire Amazon business. But slowly we get more information, we get more data, we get access to more tools. Things are getting a bit different, I'd say. So I tend to value adaptability here. So I think the whatever happens in a business, you need to adapt one way or another.
Yeah.
Over the years, we have adapted to a lot of changes, a lot of good and bad things that came our way from this business, from Amazon. And I can say one thing, that it has made us even better as human beings and also as business owners. Because, I can tell you a story. We had some nice cases in the community of people that found a very good product. They put it on Amazon, they launched it. They ran out of stock in terms of selling everything, so it was that good. But then, when competition came along and a lot of Chinese, I don't want to, okay, a lot of other sellers came into the
Yeah.
niche. They didn't know what to do, so they kind of closed the business because they had no experience in navigating a business. I tend to say that for me, it was back in 2016 when I started. My first product was a failure, a complete failure, but I learned a lot from it. I lost a lot of money. I went in debt, went to the bank, got even more money to continue the business because I trusted the business, and I trust the business even now. It's getting you there, but it takes time. It takes capital. You need more capital than in 2016, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, this is why we're here, to learn, evolve, and just grow together, I guess.
Yeah, and you need to adapt to the challenges, etc. And talking about adaptability, we are talking about product launching, and back then it was possible to have test group that are now illegal. That was a strategy to launch your product. Did you do one of this strategy of testing groups with people buying the product, to run the product, etc. And how did it evolve now?
Yeah, that's an excellent rollback for memory, on the memory lane for me. Actually, Amazon itself had the giveaway system in place with Amazon, and you could, for example, what we did, and it was very valuable. We could grow our was it? I'm losing the platform right now. Anyway, the Twitter space. So we grew the Twitter community with a lot of Amazon prospects, because of the fact that we were giving away products on Amazon. It was not working so good, but it was creating a lot of visibility. Then in the Amazon space came the giveaways, the actual giveaways by third party people out there. So companies offering that service, and it's helping. But until then, it was helping them. Until then, there were different other strategies to grow and to rank. It was, first of all, add to wish list. So people were, bombarding an ASIN with add to wish list from different bogus and empty accounts, and that was helping the algorithm. Then add to carts. So add to carts, you could add to cart a product like multiple times, and over a series of days, and that would influence your ranking. But these are all signals at the end of the day. And what's important for everyone to understand, that Amazon is taking into consideration all the signals a product gets. What's important is to get from, out of all the signals, to get the best signal of them all, which is the actual sale. Because at the end of the day, Amazon tracks and puts a weight on each signal that you get. You get, add to wish list. So a lot of Amazon customers do that. You get add to carts. Some of them also add the product to cart. Maybe they forget to purchase. Maybe they come back and finish the purchase. That's another signal. Also, the actual sale is the most powerful signal and has remained the most powerful signal. Yes, it's costly to actually navigate sales, because if you want to for example, to run a campaign, a product testing campaign, this is one service that we have with our company. We're running a product testing campaign, so we're collecting customer data on your behalf. This means that you have to basically give away products. So that's straightforward. And we will gather for you feedback in terms of a survey. So the actual customers will complete a survey. We will set together the questions, and they will answer each of the questions. So they will give us data regarding your product. So this is very powerful, and this strategy is helping a lot of Amazon sellers out there. In this process, what of course will happen is that you will also get some momentum, some sales velocity, and also some ranking on the Amazon platform. Why? Because the people that need to complete a survey will have to purchase your product. And yes, that's part
From
of the,
Amazon, right? They will purchase from Amazon.
yes,
And
yes,
okay,
that's the key there.
okay,
Yeah, so the entire strategy is around, kicking and boosting your product on the Amazon ecosystem. Now, imagine how let's take a product launch, for example, which is the most important one. Whenever you put a new product on the Amazon ecosystem, you have zero reviews, zero social proof, so everything is new. Now,
yeah,
you have a couple of days maybe with zero sales. Let's look at how Amazon perceives your product from their perspective. Yes, you'll get maybe some people that are maybe potentially, if they see the product, they will add it to the wish list. Maybe they will add it to cart. Maybe on day 7, you get one person that says, I want to try this product. It's a new product, it has no reviews, but there are people out there that will purchase a new product, even if they don't have a good social proof in terms of reviews or customer feedback or actual videos to showcase the product in action. So putting everything aside, all of these are signals that you are sending to Amazon is gathering from their database of customers. Now, what you can do from your perspective as an Amazon seller, you definitely need to have very good and perfect pictures, if you will, if that's the term, even though perfection doesn't exist. And how do you get perfect pictures for your product? I always recommend experiments. Go with experiments. Don't think that you know how the customers will perceive the product, but rather experiment to see how they react to the actual, and watch the numbers. Always watch the numbers because the numbers don't lie. That's how you get your product visible and not visible, but rather, specific to your audience. You want to talk the language of your customer. That's very
okay,
important. And within all this flow, whenever you're starting, think if you can add in like a very powerful signal to Amazon, like running a product testing, and each day you get sales, and you get the people that will be part of your product testing group, and that product testing will actually transform into a sale for you, and will send a very powerful signal to Amazon. So that's when honeymoon, no honeymoon, whatever. That's a term that has been invented over the years. From my technical experience, I can say I can view things like this. Imagine you're launching here your product. That's day 0. This means that there's no history for your product. Amazon has no history. Amazon is working with history, so it's always gathering data. Each day, you're sending data to Amazon. So considering that you're starting day 1, day 2, day 3, this is how your history is getting built up. So honeymoon was invented as, let's say, like the best period. Why? Because you have no history. So Amazon is giving you a chance. Now, if nobody knows the exact amount of time that Amazon is taking into consideration. It can be 60 days, it can be 90 days, or 120 days. Nobody actually knows. But I always say that my motto for this is no days without sales. You have to send sales to your product each and every day. How you do that, it's up to you. You can run product testing campaigns. You can run Facebook ads. You can run Google ads. You can do whatever you can, but you have to sell. If you sell, that's a powerful signal you send to Amazon, and Amazon will reward you with visibility. It's a visibility game that we're playing on Amazon. And the winner of the visibility game will be that seller that has enough inventory. You have to have inventory, of course, that sells to the customers and sells easily. So the listing converts. That doesn't get too many bad reviews. A bad review will kick down on your visibility. We have to have happy customers for Amazon to send you even more visibility. And at the end of the day, you have to be consistent about it. Running out of stock will get will give the visibility to others. That's also part of the circle, because sometimes you get visibility when other competitors are running out of stock. Sometimes you may run out of stock, and guess what? Your competitors might get a chance to be part of Amazon's trusted visibility group, if you will. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to input here a lot
completely.
of.
I have one question regarding the signal. You are talking about the fact that any add to wish list, to basket, give signal to Amazon. Do you know if the signal improve the visibility or not?
It's definitely improving the visibility. We don't know the weight, how powerful each signal is, because Amazon has its own algorithm. I don't want to imply that I know how it works. I do not know. I have no idea. Not even people from Amazon know exactly how that works. It's a complex algorithm, but yes, these are all signals. So part of your journey, whenever you're listing a product on Amazon, let's say day zero is here, you're 1 year old. When you're 1 year old, throughout the 1 year, you'll get each day add to carts, you'll get add to wish lists, you'll get people that are viewing your product, people that are purchasing your product. So all of these are, signals that we can understand and we can see. Apart from that, I'm sure Amazon has a ton of other signals they are getting into consideration. Like, for example, a customer is looking for your product and clicking 10 other products before, or maybe just, going to your product is convinced and purchasing your product. This can also be counted as a signal. The entire behavior, and Amazon is tracking the entire behavior of the customers on their platform, especially now with AI and everything that's coming our way. It would be much easier for them uh, to keep into control everything that's happening and to understand the client behavior, their customer behavior. But at the end of the day, all of these are, sending signals to Amazon. And let's look at what Amazon is trying to do. Amazon is trying to run a very successful business with us sellers helping as well on the route. It has to, have quality products to sell. So at the end of the day, their customers, the actual buyers, to be happy. That's their motto, actually. They are also focusing on their customers. So they're on the first place. The customers come second. The sellers are probably on the fourth, fifth place, doesn't matter, somewhere within the chain. But what we have to do as sellers, we have to make sure we provide quality products. We have to make sure we don't get a lot of refunds, a lot of bad reviews. Those are bad signals that, that are being sent to Amazon. Yes, they're part of the game. At the end of the day, we try to balance everything and just help out Amazon there in the journey they have to make even more money. And why
Okay.
not? We also need to make money on the road. Yeah.
Sure. And you are talking about product launching. You guys are specialized in product launching. What do you think is the best strategy? You talked about product testing, about Facebook ads. What is the best strategy today to rank on Amazon fast when you're launching a new product?
The fastest way to rank is through product testing campaigns. That's definitely the best thing to do. But I would like to take everyone's attention and think whenever you're launching a new product, think about building a very powerful foundation for your product. What does that mean? It means that you have to make sure your product gets established. Don't play the short-term game. Try to play the long-term game. I work in favor of, and I encourage everyone to work in favor of building a brand, building, let's say, a legacy. If maybe that's too much, let's stick to building a brand. Building a brand implies having, products within a niche. You can sell at the end of the day anything you want. So that's clear. But from my perspective, whenever you start with one product, your first product, let's say it's in the yoga niche. Let's take this for example. So you're selling whatever yoga mat. Then you want to sell a yoga ball. Then you go into other yoga products, right? So try to work with that. Why? Because it gets easier. It's easier to stay in the niche, and it's easier to think of a strategy while leveraging and thinking how you get customers, because that customer that purchased the yoga ball or the yoga mat can also purchase the other products, right? So if you have a pretty good strategy and you're trying to get to your customers through legal ways, of course, you can resell and you can expand the lifetime value of a customer, because at the end of the day, you want to get as many sales and as profitable as possible from just one click, just one PPC ad, just one sale. So in order to do that, you have to work on your lifetime value. So by working on the lifetime value, you want to target the people within the same niche. This is my view. There are other views, I'm sure, but I'm just relating how I see things. Now,
Okay.
going back to this situation, whenever you start, try to build up, try to get social proof, invest into photos, into quality pictures that will, main image is the most important one. All the other images on your listing need to tell a story, to paint a picture in the consumer's eye so they actually purchase from you. And always remember this. Whenever you're looking at your listing, try to look from the customer's eyes and think, what's in it for me? Nobody cares about your brand because, yeah, you have a beautiful brand that's being developed in, I don't know, on Mount Everest, and you're struggling to create a product for 10 days in order to put them. Okay, that's a good brand story. But at the end of the day, I will tell you, everyone is interested about the number one thing. What's in it for me? Right? So try to position the listing and the images to give the value to the actual customer. That's how I see things. That's how I try to navigate this ecosystem. And this is what I have learned throughout the years. At the beginning, I was back in 2016, 2017, I was more like, attached to the product and trying to stick with the product in order to make it and say, oh, this is a very good product, buy it, it's good. But it's not about that. The 101 in marketing is always about pain or pleasure. You have two things that you can offer to your customers. You can resolve a problem, or you can give them some pleasure to, enjoy whatever they want to enjoy. So position your product that way so they perceive it or either pleasure or, solving a problem. That what does your product do for them? And how will that make them feel whenever they purchase the product and, after they use the product? It's very important to think from this perspective. For that, you need, of course, to work on a lot of user-generated content. Try to get people using the product with product in action, videos, photos. Try to leverage, if you're on the Amazon US, as far as possible. And while it's still there, Amazon Post can be a good way to leverage that. Load the videos also on the product. Ask your, let's say, the content creators to help you with uploading so get as much social proof as possible. Reviews in time, you can start with Vine. You can, until now you had that option to use like variations and put them under the same parent, but be careful because they just changed the rules. So Amazon will just pick up the 30 most relevant or most powerful reviews. I don't know how they formulated it out of all the variations. So you're stick with 30 reviews max from Vine. Nevertheless, it's a very good start. Get Vine aboard, get that initial number of reviews, and start working on your customer. Start, showing your customer that they have made the best decision and give them value. It's all about them. Now, going back to this, let's say this was like, brackets to explain everything about the foundation. Now, going back to the product launch, whenever you're launching the product, first of all, focus on selling. You need to sell. No day without sales. You can do that through a product testing campaign that we can help you with, that's for sure. But also run PPC. I usually start PPC when I have at least 10 reviews. Of course, hopefully they're good reviews. So we're not talking about, a 1-star review. That's out of the question. Hopefully you get a good product, you get good reviews. Start PPC, and PPC is, will take you to the moon and back if you work on the PPC funnel. The PPC advertising funnel is all about 4 very important steps. Step 1 is about awareness. You want people to be aware of the product. You may have the best product in the world. If people do not know it, do not see it, do not, get access to it somehow, you'll not sell, you'll not make money. You need awareness. You need to showcase your product. For each of the steps, we will set KPIs. For awareness, the KPI is very simple. Impressions. See how many people are actually seeing your main image. No impressions. That's awareness. Moving into consideration. This is where you want to see if people are at least, thinking of, hey, give me more information about the product. So this is where you're counting about the actual clicks and the detailed page views that you get for the product. So you're getting that click and people are landing on your listing. This is what you should be tracking as the actual KPIs for the consideration phase. Track the actual display page, detailed page views, and the actual clicks that you get on the product itself. Next, we move to conversion. That's the third step of the funnel. And of course, everyone is mostly focused on that one, even though it's part of the funnel. It's putting money into your pocket. So it's about sales, orders, and return on ad spend that you should track here as KPIs. But at the end of the day, all of them are connected together. So if you don't have awareness, you don't have consideration, you'll not get a lot of sales, a lot of actual conversions. And the last step of the funnel is the actual loyalty. So you want to build loyalty, you want for people to come back and purchase from your brand again. So all these funnel steps we address in a PPC management. And of course, it's part of the journey to target each of them and to know exactly how to work with your budget, just so you build up awareness, you build up consideration, you focus on conversions. It's a cyclic thing. It's not just like do it all at once. You have to have a strategy. You have to get them in the right spot, and then just go through. I hope that makes sense.
Which campaign do you launch at the beginning? When you have 10 reviews and you're ready to launch PPC campaign, do you start with only sponsored product, only auto campaigns? What is your strategy for that?
That's a great question. It differs. I wouldn't say that it's always the same. I can say you always start with an automated campaign for harvesting, for visibility, and you just this way you see how Amazon is perceiving your listing. Because how relevant your listing is, you should test with an automated campaign. The keywords that you're targeting and the actual displays the spots that you're getting through that campaign will tell you how you have created the listing in terms of the text. So you might want to target yoga, but you'll end up, I don't know, in some other sports. That's definitely a signal that, okay, if the majority of clicks are within yoga, that's perfect. If the majority of visibility is with yoga, it's okay. But if you get the majority of visibility into, I don't know, Pilates or any other sports, they're connected-ish. I wouldn't say they're too far away. You're not displaying your product into baby category or anything. But that's how you track your actual product, your actual listing, if it's made correctly for the yoga practitioner. So this is the first thing I always check to see the keywords. I browse through the keywords, not myself. I have the team. So again, I'm the CEO. I'm not doing a lot of work in the trenches. I've done this in over the years, but right now I have a very powerful team that's handled everything, but I'm just explaining the basics. And of course, keyword research, you always start with that. Starting with keyword research is the key. Catalog the keywords, somehow relevant, yeah. And the other keywords that you can put there, some misspells, some maybe Spanish keywords that you can add into the list. Be very organized from this perspective, and then just go with targeting the keywords as well in the process. But it's always, again, try to work through the numbers, because you can be spending a lot of money and wasting a lot of money in PPC if you're not careful. Try to be very, very diligent about it, and try to watch for whatever PPC is talking to you about. And most importantly, try to watch your product on how it's behaving. In business reports, you have the reports there, child or parent reports, that will tell you how many people are viewing your product, how many have landed off the listing. The unit session percentage is the one I always mention you should watch, because if you have a bad unit session percentage, this means that your listing is not converting, so you can spend a lot of money in PPC. But that's one of the biggest mistakes that people, let's say, don't see, because the listing is not actually converting. So you're either running bad PPC or your listing is bad. Nevertheless, you should fix something, otherwise you're wasting money. And always watch the numbers. That's the number one.
Yeah, it's always about
advice.
Watching the numbers and adapting. You guys have been in the industry since 6 years, adapting to Amazon changes. How do you adapt to Rufus, who is changing the game now?
Well, the same as before. We have to adapt. It's like life. In life, we always struggle to get attached to things and to keep them forever. But we get AI in our lives now. We get ChatGPT. It's easier to navigate. It's harder for some people to tap into that. It depends how you see it. For us, we have Rufus. Yeah, of course, the customers will be much more inclined to use the AI to navigate decisions and to get good advice from Rufus. But that's not a problem. Imagine that until now we had Alexa. People were at home and saying, Alexa, buy me, but what is the number one recommendation you can? So what's the best product for as a yoga mat, from which brand or whatever? So that's the Amazon's Choice badge. That's been with us for a long time, but nobody actually cared about it. They wanted to have it, but let's say that's pretty much irrelevant, but still, whenever someone would voice message Alexa about a product, guess what? That would have been the first product to get to know about. If they're looking for a yoga mat and you say, Alexa, what's the best yoga mat for me? I say, yeah, the one from Nasuf is definitely the best one because, yeah, it has the Amazon Choice badge, right? So right now, yeah, we have to learn how to feed Rufus from the seller perspective with good information, so it makes informed decisions and present our product as the best one to the customers. But again, at the end of the day, you need visibility, you need to push traffic, you need people to land on your listing. Then you get also Rufus on the table. We'll see. People are always navigating and browsing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Even now in real shops or online, it's the same.
Do you have any tips to get visible on Rufus? Like maybe it is on the listing or the PPC?
Well, that's a hard one. I wouldn't say I have any tips, but I'd say work on your product. That's my number one tip. Don't try the shortcuts, influencing Rufus, or try to. If your focus is on your product, on growing your product, getting social proof for your product, going beyond Amazon with your product, that's how a successful business is built. I know a lot of people are looking for shortcuts to say, okay, I want to influence Rufus. But if you do that, imagine that, first of all, your competitors will be trying to influence Rufus as well. So you'll be fighting over influence day and day. And yeah, that's not, let's say, it's like, playing the price game. I don't want to play the price game. I want to build a business. I want to grow. Second, Amazon will catch it eventually. And yeah, like we had with the Vine, we were doing it. I was doing it, of course. I was running variations and trying to get the reviews, together under the same parent after having like multiple variations enrolled each into Vine. But it's always coming back. So at the beginning of the day, try to use it, wisely if you want to use it. Know the risks. Yes, you can influence Rufus. You can send a lot of information to it. Probably. I don't know. But again, the focus shouldn't be there. From my perspective, it should actually be on your business. How to grow it, how to get more visibility, how to leverage what you have. And yeah. And there's another thing
bring
here.
value to the customer. Yeah.
Yes. It's always about the mindset of the owner. And this is the best investment in life is in you as a person. Because if you invest in you as a person, you grow. If you grow, your business will grow. The business will never be, higher than your mindset. It will always be around that point, right? So try to always learn, always evolve, always invest in yourself, always try to get a lot of information, participate at whatever events you can, courses, books, movies, if you will, anything.
Great. Thank you very much for sharing all of that, Marcel. That was great. Thank you for your time. Do you have a website or LinkedIn? We can put the link in the description.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yes, the website is intellirank.info. That's where you can reach us through email, office@intellirank.info. I'm available on LinkedIn, Marcel Marculescu, and yeah, feel free to reach out if you have a question. I'm happy to answer.
Great. Thanks for your time, Marcel, and see you soon.
Bye-bye. Thank you for having me. Take care.